Today I'm joined by Katja, a freelance business mentor and founder of the VA Academy, where she helps women build service-based businesses that fit their lives, not take over them. And after climbing the corporate ladder in finance and realizing success didn't equal fulfillment, Katja turned to freelancing and completely transformed her life. Her business not only gave her freedom and flexibility, but helped her heal from stress and rediscover herself. So now, with 6 years of experience and a successful freelancer and mentor, she's on a mission to help other women create businesses that bring both income and inner peace. So, welcome, Katja. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you're joining me on Soul Sufficient today. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, Georgia. I'm good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So I just want to dive in. Well, to be fair, I've wanted to record this podcast with you for ages now because me and Katja have kind of been in each other's worlds for what, 2.5 years
Yeah,
maybe?
I think so. Yeah, 2.5, I would say. It's been quite a
Yeah,
while.
it has. And I've always found Katja super inspiring. Like she lives such an amazing, what I would call freedom-based lifestyle. So she's got a van life as well called Kaja. Is that how you spell it?
We actually say Kaisa here in Northern Norway, but that's
Kaiser,
like
okay.
it is a Swedish name, so it's a bit hard to say in English.
Kaiser. And why did you call her Kaiser, your van?
I don't know. I just like to name those things because it adds that layer of personality to it. It feels like I'm
Yeah.
traveling with someone then because I usually go on solo trips. And it's like a very old Swedish name that usually it's a very grandma name. And I felt like that fits because it's like an old van and I'm this inner grandma soul. So it's like, let's just give her an old Swedish grandma name.
I love it. So it's like Kaiser and Katya on tour.
Exactly.
The two Ks. That's amazing. So I've always wanted to kind of have Katya on this podcast today because, like I said, she's super inspiring. She's worked as a VA for over 6 years now. She's got loads of experience. She does coaching. Her life is just incredible. She's always in nature. She's always traveling. And to me, she's just got that epitome of a freedom lifestyle. And I know that you kind of want to inspire other people to do the same. So that's why I thought we need to do this podcast. And I asked you again if you were ready to do it. And you're like, yep, let's go. So here we are today. So
Oh
I'd
my
love to dive in and go straight back to the past because you built this amazing life and business that truly fits around you. But I'd love to go back to the start and go back to the beginning. So what was the moment that you realized that the life you'd built on paper, wasn't necessarily aligned to you and wasn't making you happy?
Oh my God. First of all, thank you for all those compliments and
Mm.
those loving words to my life. Thank you so much. It's just so beautiful getting that reflected back to you. Like to me, it kind of became so normal. So it's
Mm.
just a beautiful sentence to get it mirrored back from the outside. You're like, Jesus, that's actually what I've built.
No,
So
you should be very
thank,
proud of yourself.
thank you so much. So yeah, where did this all start? Or when did I realize it? I think there was this moment that I would say was the one that where I really was like, okay, now I'm gonna change something. When I was changing my jobs, like from one office job to the other, basically, to
Mhm.
this like big spacious office in Zurich in this huge company, and it was like, yeah, this is what I want. Like when you see all those movies from people working in New York and having whatever kind of fancy jobs, and I basically did that just in Zurich, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be so good. And I went in there and in the first month I was like, why this does not make me feel happy? Like what is this? I felt so empty and I couldn't really grab like where's that coming from? And that is exactly, I was at the point in time where the whole pandemic kind of thing happened. So we were all sent back to home office, which was great for me because then I was ending up instead of being in that, like having the fancy office on the outside and kind of getting the things on the outside, I was just sitting in my office at home and I was like, okay, so actually this is what I'm doing. This is my job. It's not about the fancy stuff on the outside. Like, I don't want that.
Mhm.
I don't want that. So for me, it was such a gift to be sent home and working from home and actually realizing that it's not about what you have on the outside. It's about the job that you do if you really like doing that. And I
Mhm.
realized I just don't. And once I started to realize that when I actually looked back and kind of reflected a bit on my feelings and my behavior and on my journey, I saw that pattern. I was like, I should have realized that much earlier. I should have seen that coming for ages, but I just didn't because I think it's often so hard when you're in that corporate cycle of just hustling and doing and being busy, and you don't even have time to feel your feelings. It's like you're just going, you're just doing, you're just in that cycle. But since the world took a lot of that speed away in that point in time, I was like, wow, like if there's nothing on the outside, this is my life, and I actually don't want that.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, but what the hell do I want to do? Like, what is the problem here? Like, why don't I like it? So I just started to really think about what is it even that I want? What do I need in my life? What makes me feel good? Like that was honestly the only point in time where for the first time ever started to reflect who I even am and what I want and not what is expected from me from the outside.
Wow. So you took the shift then. So there was a moment where you were just like, right, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to quit my corporate job. And because you started off initially doing social media management, didn't you? And then you moved into like being a virtual assistant. So maybe you just want to explain a little bit for those who don't know, like what is a virtual assistant?
Yeah, so what a virtual assistant does is basically you can imagine it as any other assistant or woman working in an office, literally doing either customer service or accounting or any other administration task, organization task, like literally whatever you would do in an office. You basically take your office job and just do it as a freelancer from your own laptop, wherever you want to, from your home, from your van, from your travels. You basically just take your office job and bring it online. That is all you do. It's that simple.
I love it. I love it. So when you made the shift then of quitting being in corporate to move into like doing social media management, was there a part of time where you kind of like built up social media management on the side? Um, and then when you had enough clients, you quit the corporate role, or did you just quit? You were like, done, I'm not doing this anymore. Forget this, and then just kind of like dive straight in. Like, how did that look to you?
Well, there were kind of two parts of that journey. So, first of all, like learning the skills. Obviously, I did not come from social media or any of that background. I was working in finance, so I didn't really had any, or I had skills to take online, but there's like a lot of legal things involved to that you're allowed to be like a financial consultant on your own and all of that stuff. And also, I wasn't passionate about it, so I was like, no, that's not really what I want to bring online. So I need to have a new skill or something else that I want to do. And while I was realizing that I want to go away from the office and do my own thing, I started just to research online, honestly, just researching on Instagram, like giving it out to the universe to say so. And I was like, okay, show me what you've got. Like, show me what is out there. Show me what is possible because that's now 6 years ago, and there was not really like now the make money online space is huge and everyone is shouting about it. But back then it wasn't really a thing. And I was like, is there like there must be something. I just believed that there is something and someone already doing that. And one day I remember opening Instagram and there was this girl from close to the town where I grew up, which is a very small town in Switzerland. So it's rather rare that you would just randomly see someone showing up that you didn't know before.
Mhm.
And I saw her being a freelance social media manager and like quitting her job and like she was going to live in Bali and all that stuff. And I was like, that's actually pretty damn cool. Like, how the hell did she do that? So I just messaged her and I was like, just asking her, like, did you have a background in social media marketing or like where did you learn these skills? And
Mhm.
so we just got into like a conversation and she shared the course with me because she also did not really have a background in that. And so she shared which online course that she did and she really that really helped her to do that, to set up her own
Mhm.
freelance online business. And so I was like, you know what? Like while I'm in the home office anyway, I might just do that course on the side because why the hell not, right? So I purchased that course and did that, and that's how I learned the skills. That it all happened on the side while I was still working full time in the office, just
Mhm.
learning the skills and understanding how it all works and starting to post a bit on social media just getting out of my comfort zone, but I wasn't really active in the client. And so alongside. And at one point when I felt like stable enough in my skills, I realized, okay, if I really want to have clients now, my corporate job didn't really allow me to just go in part-time, or I felt like I would burn myself out if I add clients to that while still doing my office job full time. So I was like, okay, how can I do this? I was really just being solution focused. Like, just instead of asking yourself or telling yourself you can't do this, tell yourself, how can I? Ask yourself, how can I do this? Because then you start to immediately focus on solutions that are out there, and
Mm-hmm.
you start to see the opportunities and the possibilities. And that's what I did. And so I was like, okay, if I can't add clients, but also I don't really feel safe with just quitting my job, because there's obviously like you got to pay your rent, you got to
Mm-hmm.
pay your taxes, you got to pay your health insurance, you got to do all the stuff, all the costs that you have. And I think the least, like the worst thing that you can do for yourself, honestly, when you start a venture like this, is to feel like you have to go all in is the only way to make it work, because it is
Mm-hmm.
not. Like when you quit your job and you put away all the quote unquote safety on the outside, and you start to worry how I'm going to pay my bills, how I'm going to pay my rent, your nervous system is completely dysregulated. You're gonna freeze, you're gonna have fears. Like, it is not the base. You got to start something like this. You don't want to go out there and desperately trying to find clients because you got to pay your next month's rent, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to start this feeling good and having time to build this and not having any pressure like that. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to worry about anything of that. So I basically built myself like 6 months of savings, or savings in the amount of that will cover 6 months of my rent and my costs and all of that stuff. That's like, okay, I got a 6 months like safety net in the back
Mm-hmm.
in case it's not going to work out. And if it's not going to work out for 6 months, then after 6 months, what the hell? I'm just going to go back to the office and see where it takes me. Like,
Yeah.
the worst case that can happen is that I land where I'm already am, which is not that bad. Like, it was a safe, stable job in Switzerland. I was like, it ain't that bad to to land back there, right?
Yeah.
And so I basically built the skills alongside with it, and then I built up those savings because I did not see any opportunity for me to take on clients besides the job. If you can do that, great. Would absolutely recommend that. If you can't do that, build yourself savings and take it from there. And that was the point in time when I quit my job, when I had those savings. And I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna try it. And I was fully booked after 3 months, and I never looked back, and I never went back to the office, and everything went great.
Wow, that's amazing. I was just about to ask you, do you remember like that first moment where you got your first client and you kind of thought to yourself, like, yes, like I'm gonna make this work. Like I can see a future in this now.
Yeah, I try to remember like who was my first client. I think I know who, like, because that, like, went from having zero clients to being fully booked. It actually went pretty quickly for me. That is why
Wow.
sometimes it's a bit hard. Like, who was even the first one? Because they all came a bit within like 1 or 2 months and all of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, but I remember when I was like, okay, like now I actually, especially the point in time where I realized like you actually have a paying client now. Like, there's someone who said yes to your offer. And the first response of my body, I was immediately was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, I don't
Yeah.
have the skill for that. I'm not good enough. Oh fuck, now I need to deliver. I instantly went back into like first for a second, of course, I was like super happy, like running through my
Mhm.
apartment and like, oh my God, like I have a client, like this is actually working out. And then after like a second, I was like, fuck. But now I actually gotta deliver my services. Like, I've never done that before. Like, I think there's just kind of so many fears up as well, that you're like not good enough, that you're like
Hmm.
disappointing them, or you can't deliver what you quote unquote promised, you know?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I remember running through the apartment and being super happy, and then having those fears. And I was like, okay, you know what? Just take it step by step. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna work out. And it did. Like,
Oh,
it
that's
absolutely did.
amazing.
And I feel like everyone can do that. But yeah, I remember that when I realized, okay, this is actually something that can work. And especially when I realized that those clients like stayed with me. Like, after for like the first month, I obviously felt like a bit like nervous in my job. And I was like, oh my God, I hope I can do this. But once
Uh-huh.
I actually realized, okay, I actually have the skills, it's just like a new way of of making money and making that safe to your nervous system, and actually clients staying with you, clients being super happy with you, clients giving you great feedback, I was like, everything is gonna work out. And it's not that
Yeah.
I'm like a special talented person or that I have had the skills or anything. Like I literally learned that from zero, like everyone else can. Like it
Hmm.
is so easy, but you just gotta allow yourself to give yourself that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you just gotta give yourself the chance to even be like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. Even if
Hmm.
I believe I'm not good enough, even if I believe I'm whatever gonna be scared, like give it a shot. And I feel like everyone will have that feeling. If that is like, it doesn't matter which online business model you choose, honestly, once you start to realize I can actually make money a different way, you're gonna run through your apartment. You're gonna scream, you're gonna laugh, and it's gonna be so much fun.
Oh, I love that. And then when was the point then? Because you started off doing social media management. When was the point where you kind of started branching out your services to do like more virtual assistant services? Because I know like when I started, I didn't even know I was a virtual assistant, if that makes sense. Like I'd never even heard of the word. I just started like helping out doing admin for like one company. And then I started hearing the word like virtual assistant being thrown around because I was freelance for this company. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually a virtual assistant here. Like everything that I'm doing, it is virtual assistant services. So when was that point for you, like where you kind of started thinking, okay, I can do more than just social media management?
That was like 6 months in my business,
Hmm.
when I was really having like a lot of clients and everything was going well. I'm a manifesting generator for those who are into human design. So I obviously am multi-passionate. I love to do different things. So I obviously started to get bored, even though social media is like a very broad like
Hmm.
field. You can do so much with that. But I only did it for Instagram because that is just a platform that I like to be on. I'm not even a major social media person. I don't even like privately, I'm not really doing anything on social media. Instagram is kind of the only platform
Hmm.
that I'm on as we speak. So it's like, okay, like I could go into different platforms, but I don't feel passionate about that. I want to do more. Like I always loved doing administration things in the office, operations,
Hmm.
processes. I was like, why the hell wouldn't I offer that? Because like as I had more and more clients and was into more and more businesses and seeing the back ends, all of that, because I had no clue how online business even works and what is all needed to
Hmm.
have a business. When I had more and more clients, I realized, okay, there's a whole back end coming with a business. It's not just you putting yourself out there when you like, I had a lot of clients like having online courses or doing coaching or
Hmm.
even selling like products, like selling physical products. Like, okay, there's a whole back end coming with it, obviously. Like, how do the orders get processed? How are the courses hosted on a platform? How do they get
Hmm.
sold? Like, there's a whole back end coming with it. And clients started to ask me to help me out with those backend things as well. And I started to realize that's actually pretty fun. And it gives me, like, it gives that versatile aspect to the job that I want to have. I don't only want to do social media, I want to do different things. And so that is kind of how I took on more and more of those kind of admin things and backend things and process things just by just learning by doing when working with clients,
Hmm.
to be honest. It was not something that I've really done before, except of like customer service, emails and things, of course, but it was really just learning by doing. My clients will often come to you and ask you, oh, can you take this over? It's taking too much of my time. Or like they
Hmm.
will literally show you how to do things. They will
Hmm.
teach you the skills. It's like so often people come into, especially as a virtual assistant, like that field is so broad, as you said, right? Like you didn't even realize that you were a virtual assistant, um,
Hmm.
because there's so many tasks that you can do as a virtual assistant. And oftentimes I see women coming in or wanting to step in and doing that, but telling themselves that they need to have all the skills before they start, or they need to like they need to know how things work, but you actually don't. Like this is literally just like clients will teach you those skills. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. When you're a social media manager, yes, you got to learn the skills yourself because they're going to hire you, because they're going to take over their social media because they don't know how to do it.
Hmm.
But if you're a virtual assistant, it's literally so easy because everyone has different backend processes, everyone uses different systems. They're going to teach you, they're going to show you, they're going to do a screen recording for you, tell you which button to click. It's literally as simple as that. Like, and that's kind of how I shifted into a virtual assistant after 6 months in the whole business. And yeah, just learn more and more and more skills through working with clients. And that's where it all ended up, just doing so many different things. And It's so interesting what you say about not really realizing that you were a virtual
Mhm.
assistant because I feel like it's just a tag, because we kind of try to give each job a tag because
Mhm.
we like when people ask you, what are you doing for work? You kind of got to tell something, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you, you got to tell what you're doing. And I feel like virtual assistance is a tag, an overall tag for everything that's underneath.
Yeah.
But it can literally be anything. Like I wouldn't even consider myself really a virtual assistant because it sounds so like it just sounds you're just doing customer service or like I don't know, like
Mhm.
it sounds a bit like I don't think that it reflects enough
Yes.
what you can even do with that. Like one of my clients calls me their operations manager,
Yeah.
like it is like you can call it operations manager, you can call it freelance accountant, you can call it whatever you want, because it's literally just taking an office job online, but there's
Uh-huh.
not really good tag for that, so we call it virtual assistant.
No, it's true. And I think like because a lot of people, obviously I've been a virtual assistant for like 4.5 years now. And a lot of people would come to me who want to kind of live this freedom lifestyle, they want to travel, they want to move abroad. And it's just such a freeing way to make money because obviously you can just work from your laptop anywhere in the world, right? Which is an amazing gift to have. But a lot of the people that will come to me and say, like, oh, how did you get started? Like, I don't have any skills. And I'll always say to them, yes, you do have the skills. Like, you will have some skills that businesses will want. Like, even if you just kind of, replying to emails or real simple skills like data entry. Um, there's just loads, isn't there, of skills that I would say that you could do, even if you've got absolutely zero experience. Like when I started as a virtual assistant, I had no idea what a Google Drive was. I'd never, I'd never done
Same.
anything online, like ever. So for me, it was like quite daunting and overwhelming. But like you said, it's like you just you start off doing what you can, offering what you can, but then the businesses will teach you what they want you to do. Um, and it's amazing now because, like you said, it's virtual assistant. It's such a broad umbrella of skills that you can have in there, but it is ultimately like business operations. It's just the general day-to-day runnings, isn't it, of the company that frees up that person, like the owner or the business owner, to kind of tap into their zone of genius, and it just takes off the mundane skills that they might necessarily want to do or don't have time to do. And it's amazing actually how being a virtual assistant has become super popular now, and more companies are kind of going online, and more companies do actually need virtual assistants. So where would you say, like, if someone came to you and just said, okay, like I really want to be a virtual assistant, like where would you say to start, and how would you say to kind of get clients to get going?
I think first of all, it's very important that you let go of that narrative of that you don't have the skills because
Hmm.
most women already stop there. But isn't it interesting what our nervous system or our subconscious mind does to us? As soon as we try to start something of our own, we tell ourselves that we don't have the skills. But you
Hmm.
probably never doubted that when you were applying for a normal office job. Like if you would see a customer service office job, you would never tell yourself that you don't have the skills. Like you would just be like, okay, like I can learn that business. I can do that. Like you never even question it. So
Hmm.
first of all, stop questioning that because it's nothing else. Even if you do that of your own, it's nothing else. It's just giving you the layer of freedom that you're craving because
Hmm.
you don't have to go to a company and sit in their office premises. That is all it is. And from there, literally just write down, like, see this through a lens of joy because this is not taking over any admin task and being in another golden cage. It's
Hmm.
about offering what you love. It's about having joy while you're doing that, right? So ask yourself, what do you like doing? And don't even see that through the lens of, is this helpful? Is this useful for businesses? Because your subconscious mind might, or like your conscious mind might already tell you, no, you can't do that. Like it always tries to pull you back to safety, to your familiar,
Hmm.
to the office. But just brain dump it out. What do I like doing?
Hmm.
That doesn't have to be business related. That doesn't have to be like quote unquote helpful or super skillful. Like, what do I like doing? Just map it out. What is my passion? What is my knowledge? but could even be a potential offer. And from there, you can always start just having a look around online. What is that other people are offering? What is that other virtual assistants are offering? And all of a sudden, you will catch that and be like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Like, I could do that too. Or I would like to learn that too. Or, like, just ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? And from there, you can craft your offer. That is what I teach within the VA Academy. Like, I literally take my students through that exact process of finding their skills. It's literally about like pulling, like getting them through exercises that they realize which kind of skills they already have, that they don't
Mhm.
need to learn something new. Learning the skills or learning to know your skills more of, to see your
Mhm.
skills, and then learning how to put that in an offer that actually sells and that gives you the freedom. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, package priced offers that you have like a monthly retainer price that you just know exactly. It's not about working on an hourly basis and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
It's like monthly, this is the salary that's going to come in from that client. And that
Mhm.
is an ongoing contract. Like I have clients working with me, like the longest ones are like 4 years in now.
Mhm.
Working with them, of course, sometimes you like grew the package, evolved it, salary has grown, all of that stuff. But you can really you have that stable income. Having that kind of offer, finding the clients that you love to work with because it is literally about people that you love to work with. I adore my clients. They're the best. They're doing these beautiful holistic things in the world that I can really stand behind. And
Mhm.
they're all doing different things. You don't even have to like find your niche that can only be a life coach or that can only be a yoga teacher, that can
Mhm.
only be it can be so many. Like my clients do so many different things. They do have online courses about business and money. They do teach Norwegian courses. They run daycares in Munich. Like they do so many different things. There's so many different fields. They all need your assistance with your skills and with your packages that you have to offer if you see your skills, if you package them right, and if you just make yourself visible to them. That is all it
Mhm.
is. Skills, packages, getting visible.
Yeah. And I love that how you kind of that's another beautiful thing about being a virtual assistant is you can choose who you want to work with and who you align with. And like I think naturally like what's happened with me is I'll just kind of attract clients who are just completely on my vibe and just you're in that same energy and you want them to do well. Like you genuinely like really care and love your clients and they almost become like friends, really. I know some people will say not to cross that friends business boundary, but all of my clients that I've ever worked with, we do become friends, and even ones that I don't necessarily work with anymore, I'm still checking in with them. We'll still communicate, we'll still chat. And it's just like you genuinely care. And I think that's the beautiful thing is like you don't just have to put up with someone who, you don't necessarily like in the office and you don't connect with their energy, but you're just stuck with them. You can
Yeah.
genuinely like align with the people who light your soul up. And I think that's like a beautiful thing. Like you said, you don't necessarily have to niche down. It's almost like you have to just connect with those who are on your vibe. And yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So within, because obviously, so you went started off as social media management, then you went to do like a VA, like broad skills, business operations, everything. And I know that your skills are incredible. Like I've worked with you with some clients in the past, and like your knowledge and skills are just insane. And it's like even if, like you said, even if you don't know a skill, like you will literally like find out how to make it work and find out like how to put things into place. So what inspired you to start the VA Academy? Because obviously the VA Academy is an amazing course that you host, teaching women how to become virtual assistants and find clients and package up their offers. And it's like the whole shebang. It's an amazing course. So how did you get into that basically?
What inspired me was that I had a course with that social
Mhm.
media training that I did. I had a course that I could take or that I found and took that actually changed my life. And
Mhm.
I also started to see that not everyone will want to be into social media. And honestly, that's one of the only ways that I see that really align with a lot of people that are very sustainable. Like people really want to replace their incomes. Like I know there are, and like I love all the business models that are out there. Like this is nothing against any kind of business model. I feel like everyone needs to find what fits for them. Like I do work with clients doing affiliate marketing. I do have clients that are into network marketing. Like there's so much out there. But for me, nothing ever felt aligned. Like I felt like affiliate marketing for me, it was really, really hard to get to a stable level with your commissions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and network marketing, I'm an introvert, doesn't really work for me. I don't feel good like doing all of that stuff. And I just never had that until I came across that social media management course where I was like, okay, I actually can do this the what I call the uncringe way. I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
go out there and get people in and sell things and like I can just do what I did before, but I can actually do it in my own time with the people that I love to do it with. But I couldn't find a course that was actually teaching how to become a VA because it is different from being a social media manager. Like
Mm-hmm.
because in social media management, you often have to learn the skills. You most often don't come from that kind of area like I did, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I had to have a course that really taught me the skills. Like how do I create a social media strategy? What is important for that? What like I needed to learn the skills. So that was like a
Mm-hmm.
very skill-based course. It wasn't really about marketing and branding and messaging and all of that. That was great for me, but I couldn't find something that was teaching women how to become a virtual assistant because
Mm-hmm.
it's so broad. So I feel like, and that is what was my challenge as well when I created the course. Like you obviously want people to see their skills, but you don't necessarily teach them the skills. And usually people
Mm-hmm.
buy a course to learn a skill. But how does it help you to have a skill when you don't know how to package it and how to sell it and how to find clients, right? And so I was like, okay, I want to create a holistic course that makes you see that you already have the skills,
Yeah.
that really takes you through a process that makes you see it and realize it. And I've had the most beautiful experience with the women going through the academy so far. They literally like went into working as social media managers and media designers and event managers. And like it's so crazy what you can do as a freelancer under the umbrella of a virtual assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no course out there. I could not find a course that I was like, okay, this is actually something like so many people started to ask me, like, how did you do it? And I would love to give them a course and be like, take this course and you will know. And you will
Yeah.
have your clients and you will change your life. But there was nothing out there. I couldn't find anything. And I was like, okay. So I just put it aside a bit, but I could not let it go because this is the life that I truly believe will change like it will be the right thing for so many women that
Mm-hmm.
want to have the freedom. Like I have women inside the academy, they are moms, they just want to have more time with their children. There, it's not about
Mm-hmm.
traveling or van lifing or anything. Then I have other people who really are into van lifing and traveling, and some people who just want to go away from hustling and just do life a bit slower. Like it's the right thing for so many women.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want those women to have a course that actually takes them from where they are now to the freelancer and the freedom that they crave in
Mm-hmm.
one course. And that's what inspired me, like my own journey with the course and just the fire inside of me that I realized that this is the right thing for so many women, which is already proven because so many women have already changed their life through it. And it just makes me really happy to be able to offer that besides one-on-one coaching because there the capacity is very limited, right? Like I don't take on a
Mm-hmm.
lot of one-on-one coaches. And I just think it's so great when you can just like take that course in your own time rather than waiting for one-on-one capacity with me because that's obviously very limited. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just so beautiful to just have a course that they can do in their own time, anytime, and literally change their life whenever they want without waiting for me to be free for a one-on-one coaching spot unless they want to, right?
Amazing. So with the VA Academy then you do offer one-to-one coaching as well for those women who just want a little bit of extra support and guidance.
Yeah, so I do have like one-on-one coaching spots, but only like I only take two coaches at a time because I really work very closely with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to make sure that everyone like really gets the high proximity that they're there for. But that is not necessarily tied to the VA Academy. Obviously, when someone books a one-on-one coaching with me, when women come in there, and they do go down the VA pathway. Like I do have women, as I said before, like going into other directions as well that don't necessarily need the whole VA academy. But when it comes to like just, giving them all the templates or guiding them through a specific lesson that I know, okay, like this is the challenge here. This lesson of the VA Academy would really help them. I
Hmm.
give all of my coaches access to those courses that they need. Like I give them just full access and like, okay, please listen to module 2, episode 3. That is really going to help you with that. And then you're going to come back to me, but it's not tied to that you have to go through the VA Academy to book a one-on-one coaching with me. That's like kind of two separate pathways that just flow
Yeah.
in each other if needed, if it fits for the pathway that woman decides to go.
Wow, that's amazing. And because you've said to me like before that you kind of hate this whole like make money online kind of what's the right word I'm looking for? But yeah, like how like when you kind of see people saying, "Oh, make money online," or "I make this every month," and blah blah blah, like how does that make you feel, and why does it kind of make you feel a little bit like cringe and doesn't align with you? Why you hate that phrase?
I just hate it because I think it is so much more than that.
Mm,
It is not about making money online. Like that is what people shout from the rooftops out there, especially in the
hmm.
last couple of years. I feel like it's beautiful that the space has evolved, but also it makes me a bit sad that it's all about making money online and how much you can make in a little short amount of time as possible. But I
Hmm.
think it's so much more than that because when you think of it, when you even ask yourself, like as you listen to this, just ask yourself, it's not actually the money that you're craving. Of course, it's nice to have 10 grand in your bank account every single month, but that is not what you're actually craving. What you're craving is a slow morning. What you're craving is time with your children. What you're craving is enjoying the nice sunny days outside instead of sitting in an office. What
Hmm.
you're craving is time to go to the gym, time to go hiking. What you're craving is being able to cook your own meal at home and eating it in peace. What you're craving is having time with your friends. The money is just what gives you the spaciousness to do that because, of course, we all got to pay our bills.
Hmm.
But it's not actually about the money in and of itself. And I feel like this make money online space has become so cringe. And it's such a shame because it just turns a lot of people off, which I absolutely understand. Like, we do not want to be those marketers that are like just those salesy car salesmen. In Switzerland, it's often the salesy insurance
Hmm.
salesman. It's like, and obviously, if you're coming into that space, like if I would have come into that space 6 years ago and it would have already been like that, it probably would have turned me off as well because
Yeah.
I would have believed that that's the only way to actually make money another way or make
Hmm.
money, quote unquote, online or from your laptop. That's why I really don't like it. And at first, it really started to make me angry, but now it's more of sadness because it turns away so many women that have the potential to
Hmm.
quote unquote make money online in an uncringe way. They don't need to tell everyone how much money they made and lure other people in and whatever. Not like, and that is the thing of every business model. Like, it's not even about bashing on a certain business model here at all. You can do authentic, beautiful marketing in every single business model. You can be yourself and do it a non-cringe, non-salesy way with every single business model. It's just
Hmm.
often taught in a very hard, masculine, for me, offensive way.
Hmm.
Because that is the culture in some other countries. Some courses like it's, but for us women, I believe we can make it more feminine. We can make it more our style. And
Hmm.
especially from my background in Switzerland as well, like we're not the ones coming and hard selling, cold selling. But
Hmm.
courses are often taught that way. And that's make the whole space cringe when it's actually something so different and so much more than actually making money online.
Yeah, and it comes across, and a lot of it is just a con, and a lot of people kind of like put this, it's like shining like the golden carrot in front of you, isn't it? Like, come on, 10 grand
Yeah.
a month or whatever, and then these women are like buying into that and spending thousands on courses, and it's actually like, quite hard graft to build up a business. Any business, even like building up a virtual assistant business, like you've really got to want it and you've really got to have that drive. It's not just like you're going to open up your laptop and boom, you're going to be making, thousands of money. Like maybe you will for the odd person, but it does take time like any business and it takes consistency and passion And I do agree with you. I think it's a shame that we have this cringy like, oh, make money online, like you'll be making 10 grand a month, like after doing this course. It's like it doesn't work like that. And it does seem like a con and it does put people off. Whereas the
Ah,
virtual assistant business model that I love is because you are very much in control, I think, of your business and of your finances. Like you said, if you're creating packages that you can sell every month, you know that you're going to have X amount coming in with this client. Um, it gives you that safety. Whereas I think with like a lot of other business models, a lot of it can be worked on like commission, for example, and it's like you don't know how much you're going to make the next month. Maybe you had a really good month, this month. Maybe next month you'll make nothing. Whereas like as a virtual assistant, I feel like it gives you that safety blanket of like, right, I'm in control. I know that I'm going to get this amount of money from this client. I have a bit more capacity to bring on another client, so you can like do a bit of marketing and try and find another client example. But it's just,
exactly.
yeah, I love the business model of being a virtual assistant because I feel very much in control. So
Yeah.
compared
Yeah,
to
it
like
is
a lot
like
of models out there.
exactly like you don't have to rely on like consistently selling something or a
Hmm.
certain amount of whatever every single month. Like you're constantly having that for what me feels like pressure. Like, okay,
Hmm.
to make ends meet, I need to have this and that amount of sales to earn this and that amount of commissions, right? Like every single month for me it feels like you're starting from zero
Hmm.
because when you have what like a normal employee job to quote unquote say so, at the end of the month you're gonna get your paycheck.
Hmm.
Like you
Yeah.
know exactly that at the end of the month you're gonna get your paycheck. Why can't we take that safety and that nervous system calmness
Hmm.
out of the office and putting it online in our laptop? Like that is all it is with being a virtual assistant, right? Like you're gonna get your salary. Yeah, you're gonna get it potentially from different clients, from
Hmm.
maybe 3 to 5 clients, but still it's like that is consistent ongoing work. We're not here to jump from a burnout into another nervous system
Hmm.
dysregulated state. Like we want to have the inner peace.
Yeah,
We want to have the inner peace. We want to feel safe, and safety is one of our like we need that as humans. We need it as humans. That is not
definitely.
about money mindset. It's literally like a physical need that we have as humans. We need to feel safe, and without money, we don't feel safe because it might take away the roof over our head, and we're afraid to not have food on the table. That is a very, very basic need that we're always gonna have.
Hmm.
So I don't see why we can only have that in an office or to have that covered in an office when you can
Yeah.
just be virtual assistant knowing, okay, every single month it is ongoing, consistent. And if a client quits or if I decide to quit a client, that is what
Hmm.
was always for me the case. And like, as I said, I'm working with the same people since like 4 years.
Hmm.
You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it while you have the freedom. It is that beautiful. And if you decide to replace a spot or you can just go out and find a new client. It's so easy. Like you're doing a good job. Clients will even recommend you. They do have connections. Like
Yeah.
it's so much more easier than you think to get new clients,
Yeah.
especially once you're in. Like it's so simple. It's something so
Yeah.
safe.
And I think like me and you have had voice notes about this in the past, but I think it's just like opening yourself up and being open to receiving. So like for example, 2 months ago, one of my main kind of what I'd say my main bread and butter client, and where I know like I get X amount and I've worked with this client for like 4 years. They got me into like the whole virtual assistant role. And I'm very grateful, but they kind of reduced my hours quite drastically. And when things like that happen, it can kind of put a bit of strain on your nervous system. But I just felt like, right, this is just an opportunity. I'm just going to put it out there. And I remember like I went to bed on that night and I thought, I'm just going to see what the universe brings. And I literally went to bed, like put out the positive mindset of just like, right, let's just see what happens. The next day I woke up, I started like to tweak my CV and I thought I'm just going to like put it out to a few people that I know that I really align with. Like I love their businesses. Just word of mouth is always a great way, I think, to bring on clients because it's amazing how many people need just VA services. And
Yeah.
then just as I was about to send my CV, I opened up Gmail to send my CV to someone. And there was an email from there from a lady who was looking for like me to start as a virtual assistant. And I was just like, this is insane. Like,
That's wild.
it's amazing. And I hear stories like that all the time. Like my friend, she had like a consistent client, and unfortunately it went a bit sour. Like the team just weren't very nice, and she just thought one day she's like, right, I'm gonna quit. This doesn't align to me anymore. In a positive way. It's not like she was like really um yeah, it ended positively, but she was just like, right, I know that I'm worth better than this. I know that like I'm not aligned to this particular client anymore. And then the next day, like she gets a random phone call off someone she met like, months before, just being like, I'd love to bring you on board and like, would you help me with this project? And it's just like the
I
universe, if you're
love
open to
that.
it, it will
Yeah.
provide you with these opportunities. And I don't want to sound like completely woo-woo because in business there is strategy and structure. But at the same time, you have just got to be open to these opportunities, haven't you? And just trust that if one door closes, if you lose one client or you don't if you no longer align to that client, then something else is going to show for you. And I think, like you said, as soon as you're in that world of being a virtual assistant, like it naturally will just, progress and the ball will just start rolling.
Absolutely. I love those stories. That is amazing. That's exactly how it works and what so many women experience in the space and what I've
Hmm.
experienced as well. Like literally just doors opening. And of course, as humans, we're natural overthinkers, right? Like we want to
Hmm.
have it all figured out,
Yeah,
probably best case until the end of our life. We
yeah,
want to know every single step. We want to know what that's just not how it works. You got to take it step by step.
yeah,
And why would you hold yourself back with even starting just because you don't believe that once you lose one client, you're never going to replace it? Like that is
yeah,
just ridiculous. You just
yeah.
gotta take that initial leap of faith and jump
Mm.
and give yourself the chance to start it. And as you say, then those quote unquote magical stories, I know it sounds super woo-woo, but as you start your business, you're gonna go
Mhm.
through such a beautiful, deep, transformational personal journey as well,
Yeah,
because you finally have time to even realize what the hell you're feeling and thinking. Like you have the
yeah,
space for it. So you start to work with it. And it's
yeah.
so beautiful because that is literally how you get to understand even your whole mind and subconscious mind and all of this.
Hmm.
Like it literally happens automatically. Like I did not intend to go down a personal, spiritual, whatever kind of journey you want to call it. It just naturally happens. And that's exactly what then happens, what you said. You get on that vibration, you start to see the
Hmm.
opportunities, and literally the doors are going to open up for you. As crazy
Yeah.
as it sounds, but I love those stories. Love that.
Yeah, I hear stories like that all the time. And I think like this is why I love the VA Academy, what you're promoting is because you bring a lot of the mindset in there. And I think it's so important, like when starting any business, that you bring in that mindset and you do the energetic work. And I know that you do this in the VA Academy, and I kind of help my clients with this as well. You have to be in the right mindset, you have to be in the right energetic. Because if you're like starting anything and you're constantly thinking, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm going to fail, no one's going to book me, I'm not going to get any clients, like all these, limiting beliefs we hold on repeat, like actually you're going to be in that vibration, which is going to bring that to you. You are going to fail. You are not going to bring in clients. You've really got to work on that mindset and be in that energetic level. And that's why I really love the VA Academy because you do bring all that in. And some people will think that's woo-woo, and some people will think like, how does business and mindset, go hand in hand? But I read a statistic where it's like success in business or anything I think you do in life is 5% strategy and 95% mindset.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's
Mm.
only like the strategy is literally like the tip of the iceberg. It's
Hmm.
like that's all it is. And you can have the best strategy in the world if your mindset is set up in a way that like as just as you said, like you're constantly feel like you're gonna fail, you're not gonna get clients. You can have the best marketing strategy. It ain't gonna work.
Hmm.
It ain't gonna work. And that's why I love what you're doing as well in your business and what I'm bringing to the VA Academy with the mindset module as well. Like it's so important. Like I love the holistic approach because in the end, it all goes hand in hand together. And
Yeah.
it's just like like such a big part is mindset. Like I completely believe that's actually that 95%. That is crazy, but I totally believe that it is that way.
Yeah, definitely. And it blew my mind, like when I kind of when I realized that, it's just, yeah, if you don't open yourself up energetically, mentally, like, it's gonna be very difficult for you to bring in positive um situations and opportunities into your life. That's why you just gotta, try and step out of that fear and be in that empowerment and just trust the universe, just trust that what you want wants you to, and that everything will align. It's like, when you took the leap and went from corporate to being a VA, you trust in yourself. Yeah, there's going to be limiting fear beliefs, but don't let them rule you and don't let them become you. You've just got to like almost use them as your motivation. Play them off yourself, haven't you? And just trust that it's gonna work out, and the life that you want genuinely does want you to. And it's like doing that the perfect day assignment and everything. It's like, really getting that energy. Like, what do you want to, when you wake up, how do you want your days to look? What do you want to be spending your time doing? How many hours do you actually want to work a day? Like, where do you want to be working from? It's just really like getting into like who you are, what you want from life, and building a business around that feels safe and secure, nurturing and aligned. Like, how have you changed as a person since becoming a VA and like living in alignment with who you're meant to be?
I feel like I became a completely different person, to be honest, like in the best way possible, though. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't realize for a long time how much in misalignment that I was, that I actually, that I was not really me, you know? Like, I was not really, like, I did have like friends and all of that stuff. Like, everything was basically fine, but I always felt like, I don't know, like something is not quite right, but I couldn't really grab it.
Hmm.
And when I went through this journey, I actually realized it was because I was never truly really myself. Like
Hmm.
my values are so different from the world that I've been in. My values are so different from the people I've been with. And I changed so much. Like I became a much more spontaneous, open-minded kind of person. Like I met the best friends along the way. Like my friend circle nowadays is completely different to the one that I used
Hmm.
to have. And there's nothing wrong with the one that I used to have. They're all beautiful humans. However, we're living completely different lives with completely
Hmm.
different values. We're having completely different things to talk about. Like I truly feel like the best change in person was that I truly feel like I am myself. I can say what comes up, what I feel like. I can express my emotions. I can be just this bubbly, positive human being that I always was meant to be. That kind of I feel like my light has been coming back. I changed so much, like just mentally, like I feel like nothing can really bother me mentally anymore. Like my mindset has become so incredibly strong, whatever happens on the outside. I learned to set boundaries. I stopped being a people pleaser. I also physically changed. Like I finally had the time to consistently like go to the gym and like follow along with those kind of routines that make me feel good. Not because I really wanted to change anything physically, it just really makes me feel good. It makes me feel
Hmm.
light and healthy. I love to go hiking. It's easy to drag my body up the mountains there, all those things, right? Like it's so many things that changed. I used to have an eating disorder for so many years. I'm an ex-binge eater. I was completely able to heal that. It took me several years, but it was those 6 years in my business that actually healed it, even though I didn't try to heal that. Like it was not my intention. I didn't focus on healing it, but it naturally happened as I became who I actually am because there
Hmm.
was no stress eating or emotional eating or anything like that happening anymore. I didn't see food as my friend or enemy anymore. It was just food all of a sudden, and that
Hmm.
of course didn't happen overnight. It happened gradually over 5 or 6 years now. But I feel like this is just such a different life quality because I am a completely different person,
Hmm.
but in a way that I'm finally myself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not quite the different person that I'm not who I finally am who I am because I've not been myself before. So it's just worlds of a difference in so many aspects of life. And that's why what I feel like that's is what women or humans in general are actually craving. That's why it's
Hmm.
not about making money online. It's about those kind of transformations that come with the whole journey. Like I can finally, for the first time in my life, imagine even one day having a family with my partner because along the way I also met a person that really fits for me, that I feel good with, that I feel safe with, that I can imagine marrying and being the father of my children, you know? Like I never had that in the field that I was in before because I would not attract those kind of humans into my orbit. And
Hmm.
I could, for the first time, even imagine having a family because now I know that I have the space that I want to have to raise children. I don't want to have children and be in a corporate world. That's not who I am. There's nothing wrong with people who do that, but it's not who I am. And I feel like I can finally live the life along with my values and who I am with the people I love to be with that share those values. We can grow together, we can build together. That would have never happened before. So this has made me a completely better, more healthier, more spacious person.
Wow, that's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love that.
It's such a
And
gift.
it's amazing how that's happened basically from a job essentially. But
It is.
it doesn't feel like a job though, does it? When you live in alignment and you live in passion with what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. So
Yeah.
anyone like if someone, you know, someone's listening right now and they know they're meant for more freedom, they know they're living out of alignment, they're living in this corporate world, or not even just the corporate world, they just know they're not living in alignment with who they want to be and the life they want to be creating. Like, what would you say is the next brave step for them to take?
The next brave step is honestly buy yourself a course or book yourself a
Hmm.
coaching that is going to
Hmm.
enable you to do that.
Yeah.
Give yourself the chance to do it because no one can take that leap for you. No one can do that but you. And
Mhm.
this is not to sell something. This is literally just the goddamn truth. Like you gotta do it yourself. If you feel like you need a course or you want to have someone you work with to do this, go and do it. Because the worst case that's gonna happen is that you end up where you already are,
Hmm.
but you learned a bunch of new skills, you evolved your mindset, you like there's so much that you're gonna take from it if the worst case should happen and it's not going to work out, which I can tell you it is going to work out. It
Hmm.
is going to work out, but it give yourself the chance. That is literally the step that they're going to do. They need to just go all in with a course, with a
Yeah.
coaching, even if that's building on the side, but you got to take that first step and actually start it. If you don't want to do that on your own, go and buy a course or book a coaching. That's what you're
Yeah.
going to do.
I agree. I think like this, you know, like I've studied so many courses over the years and I absolutely love it. Like I'm almost like a bit of an addict to courses because I just love learning and love building on skills, and coaching I just think is so incredibly powerful, especially to work with someone who is living the life that you aspire to, like walking that path that, you know, they've already walked. Like there's nothing more powerful than working with someone who has done what you want to do essentially. And yeah, I think for anybody listening to this, like definitely I'm going to put all the links in the show notes and everything, but definitely look into doing Katya's VA Academy. It's an incredible course. Like I know this firsthand, like I've got access to it. It is insane, like how much value is in there. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
I just want to, you
I
know, I
love
won't take up any more of your time today, but I just want to thank you so much for like joining me today. And I just think like this has been one of my favorite podcasts. Like you are just so
that.
inspiring. Like I could just listen to you like all day. Like when you send me like a long voice note, I love it. I just like get a cup of tea. It's like my little Katia podcast. And I love it because you're just such an inspiring person, and your energy, like anyone who's in your world will know this. Like you've just got the most beautiful energy and aura. And you just, you know, you embody positivity and you're very inspiring. So I just want to say thank you so much. And
So
yeah.
much for having me. It was such a pleasure talking to you. Like, I love those kind of chats when you just talk with other like-minded women that are, I mean, you're also like so inspiring. Like, I can just give all those compliments to you as well. Like, what you've built, how you're living, how you're helping women. I loved everything about this. So, thank you so much for
Oh,
having me, Georgia. That was amazing.
no, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to put all the links in the show notes for people who want to work with you. the VA Academy, the one-to-one coaching, your Instagram. I mean, I live through your Instagram. Like you're I love it. Like you're always off in nature. Like the photos you take are just like out of this world. Like especially when you're in Bodo and you've got like all of the Aurora Borealis, and it's just incredible.
It is incredible. Yeah, people jump on there, join me, but most of all, DM me if you have any questions. DM me
Mhm.
just to have a chat. Tell me your fears, your doubt, your worries. Tell me where you want to go. Like I'm really up for any inspiring, beautiful, real human chats. So come over to the gram and talk to me. I love that.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much again. I will love you and leave you now. And
Thank
yeah, I can't wait to like get this podcast out there because I think it's going to help so many people because I get so many questions about like how did you be a VA more than like anything else that I do. So I'm always going to be funneling them to you. Like you are the guru. You are the person to go to. So yeah, just thank you so much and we will speak soon.
Yeah, thank you as well. Have a beautiful
Thank
day.
you. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye.